We'll call the July 15, 2024 meeting of the Greenwood Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Coleman.
Here.
Thank you.
We have two sets of minutes to consider. The first one is the June 17th meeting. Is there any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the June 17th?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And our second one is the July 1 meeting. Again, any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff? Hearing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
First, we're gonna go to Megan Yagi, Restore Old Town Greenwood. I think Mr. Hayden may be helping or assisting. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Megan Yankee, representing Restore Old Town Greenwood. Do I just dive in?
You can right ahead.
Awesome. We are starting Final Fridays, which is a community event in Old Town starting this month, July 26th. And it will occur monthly going forward, hopefully indefinitely. We're really excited. We're gonna have shops staying open late, restaurants doing specials. We're gonna have vendors in some private lots, a lot of excitement going on. But the reason I'm here is because we will have some live musicians as well. One stationed in front of Bayberry Spa. We'll have one on the 200 block of Main Street, and then one in the parking lot behind the 100 block of Main Street.
Ty, anything to add?
No, basically they're just coming for a noise ordinance waiver. Since it's along Madison, some of those locations do border close to residential areas. Even though they're not playing music that late, we just want to get them the ordinance waiver just so there's no concerns.
What is the time you're thinking about?
5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Too late. Questions for Megan or Ty? And you say you're gonna do it every last Friday, even into the winter months, or just?
That's correct, into the winter months as well. We don't know exactly what that's gonna look like with the music. I've been talking to Ty about kind of where we need to go from here. So I'll definitely keep him updated. And y'all.
Freezing or 70 in December, we don't know.
Yeah,
Does
but
it-
it's been successful in other neighborhoods. A lot of other neighborhoods do first Fridays. We went to Final Fridays because Franklin implemented first Fridays. They're doing theirs through the winter as well. It's been successful for
So
them.
that's who I've seen some promotions for that. Is that Franklin's that I've seen? Or is it?
It might be ours, it might be
Okay.
Franklin's, yeah,
I thought it was Greenwood, but.
we.
The ordinance does require that if you're going to do a waiver, then you have to specify the property, the dates, and the hours for which it applies. So you may want to come up with some sort of a date
So
specification.
this first one is just for this upcoming Final Friday. I did tell her we have to maybe work something out. But she shouldn't have to come 12 times a year to do this, but maybe do it quarterly for each Friday. But this is just for the first one, not for everything. Yes.
So do we know the addresses you just relayed those? in the
I don't know them off the top of my head, but I did submit specific addresses with the request online.
You can share those with Ty, and Ty can get that to Amanda so
Yeah.
we can put it in the record. Mr. Rutherford moves for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
so
Look
much.
forward to it.
Thanks, have a great evening.
You too. Next, Mark Meadows of Bexley Village Apartments. Glad to see you. Been a long time.
Good evening. Yeah, hey, we noticed that on the schedule tonight was release our bonds. We should answer any questions. I think we met every requirement to actually release those bonds. But I'm here to get a question about anything.
Mark, we've got a memo from Paul in your office that everything looks okay.
Yes, sir.
Questions?
Oh, looks nice.
Been a long time coming.
Yes, it has.
I move that we approve the request to release the bonds, acknowledge the completion of the improvements.
Further discussion? And then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Sean Cofer, Sean, are you up there?
Yep, you got
Yeah.
me now. Sorry, I'm not there in person.
That's all right. Tell us what we're doing for South Point.
All right, so you get my day job first, get my night job next. But so South Point, this is a project we finished a number of years ago, and it took us a while to get to the point where we got the maintenance bonds in place. So those have been in place for 3 years now. Those came due. We replaced a little bit of curb that needed to be replaced about a month ago, and so now we're just requesting release of those maintenance guarantees.
Questions for Sean? Mark, again, this is from Paul in your office. This is all acceptable.
That's correct.
Well, I'll move that we acknowledge that the improvements are still in satisfactory condition and that we release the maintenance guarantees for that.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Yep.
Oh, you're doing
Yeah,
race
you get
too?
me on the one too. So you get my
Oh,
night,
yeah,
night
yeah.
job.
I saw your name twice. I'm sorry.
No, you're
All
fine.
pavement rehab.
Yeah. So this one is about 3 years ago. We started the Aldi pavement rehabs at Stop 18 Road. We did kind of 3 phases, and now they're finishing up what we're calling phase 4. So that'll be more of the front parking lots that they have, the westernmost entry, and then along with that, they are adding some auto parking spots. So they have increased employment, need to add some auto spots. So we're adding a handful of auto spots, 1 storm line, because it's all still using the existing stormwater detention pond. That all still functions. We've run all the calculations, make sure all that functions. But then we do need to put into place, of course, the performance guarantees for that storm and erosion control, dirt work, as well as since we do have that 1 piece of storm pipe, we've got an inspection and testing agreement that we need to get accepted. The bonds, we've been having some issues with the surety company. So I know Paul talked to Tyler, who's the contractor that's working on this, about kind of conditionally accepting these upon his receipt and approval of the official bonds.
And approval by the legal and engineering division, correct?
Yes.
Any further questions or discussion? So a motion for approval, subject to that condition.
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And now we'll let you go, Sean.
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Charlie Maddox, Crossroad Engineers for the Race Gilman Drive connection. Charlie, are you with us online? Oh, there you go, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not Charlie,
Okay.
but you said you were having issues connecting, so I'm here if you guys have any questions.
Okay,
So,
Mark, looks like the only condition is to receive the Mylars, and the digital as-bills
That's correct.
for approval.
Yes.
I move that we approve the request subject to those conditions. Second.
Further discussion? And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks for filling in.
no problem.
Take it you're Justin, right?
I sure am.
Okay, Fujiyama Steakhouse.
Yeah, so I'm here for the acceptance of the performance guarantees and the acceptance of the execution of the inspection test agreement for the proposed Fujiyama Steakhouse on Sports Crossing, lot 6, just east of the Franciscan Health building. And the performance bonds will be approved conditionally. I have the revised performance bonds with me here today to give to Mark.
Again, unconditional approval except for that
Yes.
one.
For approval of that condition.
Second.
Further discussion? And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Recognize it's one motion. Yeah.
Thank you.
Michael Reed, MI Homes of Indiana, or Barry Chase?
Well, you get Joseph Heck with Projects Plus here
Okay,
representing
Joe.
MI Homes for this project.
We'll do it a little bit.
You guys
hard.
let me do this one, right?
Go ahead, tell us what you want.
All right. Well, we're just seeking the acceptance of the sanitary sewer improvements. This is a job that's in the county, but it's got city sewer, so we're seeking the acceptance of the improvements. It's off of Smith Valley and Berry Road over south of Sugar Creek Elementary. So seeking acceptance of the improvements and acceptance of the maintenance guarantee for the sanitary sewer, and acceptance and signatures for the secondary final plat. That's all.
South
this
of,
one.
south of Sugar Creek, Sugar Grove?
Yep. Sure, Grove. Yep.
Questions for Joe? Mark?
All good, everything's in order.
Move for approval.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Joel Edwards, we'll talk about Val Vista LLC subdivision. Joel, are you
Hello.
online? There we are.
Yes, I'm online. Yeah, we're just seeking acceptance and execution of the final plat, and get this for signature for the subdivision. It's a single lot subdivision.
You have it with you.
I do, yes.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Yep.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rick Ellis for Lincoln Place. Good evening.
Good evening, I'm Rick Ellis with Y Engineers. I'm here to request 6 waivers for the Lincoln Place project that we're working on with Lennar Homes.
Okay, Mark, you want to lead us through this?
Yes. Yeah, so there's a couple other items on the agenda for Lincoln Place as well too, so you're aware, but we can certainly start out with the stormwater waivers.
Okay.
Mr. Ellis, if you want to give a presentation on each of these, or I can kind of give a summary over the board.
Sure, I can. Let me, maybe I've got a flash drive. I may present that with.
You need to stop sharing.
So while he's working on that, the project is bounded by the railroad to the west. We have Bushville Road to the north and and Emerson Avenue to the east. The property is kind of in a bowl as it is, and we have our stormwater outlet that's to the west underneath the railroad.
You can also use the keyboard arrow keys if that's easier.
Oh, okay.
Stormwater waiver.
So the property is generally in a low-lying area, bounded, I think, the boundaries I just described. Additionally, we have some off-site acreage coming in from the south and from the north on the 2 properties, as you can see here in the exhibit. There's 5 acres there at the southeast corner, 0.09 acres southwest, 2.3 in the northeast, and another acre there to the north. And in order to take in that water into the system, that's what's triggering really all these waivers. So start with the first one. Let's see here.
The first two are tied to the Nachi discharge point too.
Yes, that's correct.
So this site drains underneath, there's an existing culvert underneath the railroad that it drains through. And then it drains onto the Nachi property and is incorporated into the Nachi storage sewer system. The first waiver is, our standards say stormwater needs to be discharged to an acceptable outlet as determined by the city having capacity to receive upstream, offsite, and onsite drainage. Nachi has been there so long, we don't have a drainage report for them. It's not a platted property. It's not clear if some of this stuff is an easement or not. However, it is taking the water from the site currently, and with the development of the site, the water will be retained and released at a lesser rate in the future. So engineering staff does not really see a large issue with this, the first two waiver requests. The second one is for easements. Again, not quite sure if there's easements on the Nachi property or not, but they're not allowed. They have to perpetuate upstream drainage. They can't block off that drainage in the future. Just want to add to that.
That was perfect. Thank you.
Have you approached Nachi to see if they have easements or you could get easements from them?
We've tried to reach out to the companies and also different folks that might have the drainage report and haven't been able to locate it.
Okay. And then what condition is the culvert that goes under the railroad?
I believe it's in good shape. I haven't personally seen it, but from what I'm told, it's in good shape.
What size is it?
I believe it's a 36. Trying to figure out how to zoom on this thing.
That's okay.
Oh, there we go.
That's probably close enough.
Just don't have it memorized, my apologies.
6 inch.
36. Okay.
36.
C and B?
Yeah.
Correct.
That takes care of 1 and 2. We're gonna vote on those two. At this point. Is there a motion to approve waiver request 1 and 2?
I move that we approve waiver requests 1 and 2.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
On to 3.
Number 3 pertains to the pond drawdown, or sorry, a half a foot. Be a minimum half foot above the normal water level of the receiving waters. And so this one kind of goes back to what I had mentioned earlier. So we're trying to get all these offsite areas in the project to drain. And so this was one area that we looked at to reduce, to help facilitate the drainage of these offsite areas within the project in general.
Yeah, again, I think this ties to the project's unique topography, and they're really tied to a discharge elevation with that culvert underneath the railroad. It's hard to change the elevation of that. So this allows them to drain additional area, buy back a little bit of space by not being quite half a foot above the outlet elevation, which would be the culvert under the railroad.
Which tell us about 4 is closely related, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're all very closely related to the topography of the site, the discharge point. It's flat, it has a very set discharge point. 4 is minimum drop through manholes and inlet structures, so we require a 10-foot drop. They're not providing that, but they are providing minimal flow of 2.5 feet per second, which meets our standards and should prevent debris and that sort of thing from accumulating in the inlet control structures. Waiver 5 is about pipe grade cover. There are certain locations where they can't meet our minimum 2-foot grade cover, and again, that's because the site, especially on the west end, is very low. They're not, everywhere it's gonna be underneath the roadway, they'll have 2 feet of cover. But some of the areas are lawn areas and under some driveways, will not have 2 feet of cover. Waiver 6 is the last one that we typically see. Again, it's 90% of capacity within 48 hours of the 100-year storm. And that's to ensure there's adequate capacity in the ponds in case there's 2 very large back-to-back storm events. They've modeled 2 back-to-back 100-year storms, which shows that the pond does not overtop, which satisfies me that standard's being met to an extent. The intent of that standard is being met.
And your office is supporting all 4 of those.
Yes, all 4 of the remaining waiver requests were supported.
Is there a motion to approve waiver requests 3, 4, 5, and 6?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank
Now we've got the acceptance of the performance guarantee, acceptance of inspection. Testing agreement.
These we are in receipt of the performance guarantee. We have copies of the inspection and testing agreements for you to sign, and we have received 50% of the upfront fee.
Accepting improvements as well.
No,
No,
performance
this guarantee. Questions or other issues?
I move that we approve the request to accept the performance guarantees and acceptance of the and execution of the inspection and testing agreements.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. How about the open cut?
So we have a standard that requires utilities going underneath the roadway have to be bored in. They're asking to open cut the roadway. We don't have an issue with that due to the condition of Pushville Road and the fact that this development will be reconstructing Pushville Road. We're just asking that they coordinate that work with the engineering division when it happens.
Look for approval of that request.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now, I think that's it, all right?
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Mark, what you gave us are all the originals that we need.
Yes, the notice of determination.
Anyone from the audience wish to address us, either here in the room or online? Hearing none, we'll go on to Sean.
Yeah, 3 contracts for consideration and approval. The first one is with Sexton Mechanical Company, and that is for installation of hot water pump and piping for the PNC side of the city center building in the amount of $15,824.
Questions for Sean on this? Is there a motion for approval as presented?
I move for approval.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The second one is for a professional services agreement with Hitchcock Design Group. This is for landscape architecture for the Northwest Park parking lot that is going to be paid for with CDBG funds, which is under your jurisdiction, and that is in the amount of $56,700. They're approving that parking lot, and they will be doing the landscape design.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And the last one is the ratification of an outdoor lighting, the standard outdoor lighting agreement with Johnson County RMC for Scottsdale Estate Section 2. That will be 11 new lights at $12.66 each. So $136.60 a month will be the electrical charge for those.
Remind me where Scottsdale's at?
That's down Stairway 135 and like Whiteland Road, like north of there, all that big,
Yep.
large area there. Mhm.
Is there a motion to approve that?
Second.
Further discussion? Say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Sean, is that it?
That is all we have, thanks.
Mark?
First item I have is our easement encroachment request docket. Just have one item on it for a fence at 814 Cherry Tree Lane. That's an encroachment 2024019. This would encroach into a drainage and utility easement. We're okay with this encroachment with our usual conditions included on it.
I'll move to approve that.
Second.
Further discussion? Favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next item I have is our Cuts Inlet Road rehabilitation project. Last Monday, a week ago, we did this project on July 8th. We received 5 bids for this project. Calumet Civil Contractors was found to be the lowest responsible bidder at $1,565,000. And we're asking that you allow for us to sign a construction contract to begin this work. There is a condition that available funding be finalized by the finance department. I believe we're going to utilize the GO bond on this, which I believe is in place. That should be an issue.
The county is known to us.
Yes, yeah, they're actually also under contract to do the Smith Valley Road, Neighborhood Road roundabout for us next summer.
Motion for approval? I'll make that motion.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
My final item is a operations and maintenance manual for water quality for Scottsdale Estates Section 3.
That's for 3 and
3
section
and 4, yes.
I move that we approve that request for both sections.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Is that all, Mark?
That is all.
Mr. Wright, welcome back.
Me, thank you.
Anything from you? Mr. Rutherford,
I will move for the approval of the claims. Second.
further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. If there are no further business coming forward, the board will stand adjourned at 5:58 PM. Thank you all.
Thank you.